Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Terra training module. I'm Frank Ambrosio, a bioinformatics scientist with Theogen Genomics, and in this video, we'll be going over the process of running the Titan ONT workflow for genomic characterization on Terra.bio. Before running the workflow, one must have uploaded some data. If you have not yet uploaded any data, please see our video for uploading ONT data to Terra.bio. If you have any trouble with this process, please reach out to our support email, which is support@terrapublichealth.zendesk.com, and we will include a link to that support email in the description of this video. Now that we have confirmed we have some data in Terra, let's jump right in. Please navigate to your workspace and then to the Workflow tab within that workspace. If you do not see the Titan ONT workflow in this Workflows tab, please see our video on importing a workflow into your Terra.bio workspace. Otherwise, click on the Workflow, and as soon as you arrive at the workflow, you'll see we have a few options. The first option here is to select the version of the workflow that we would like to run. We typically suggest that you pick the latest version of the workflow, which is 1.5.3 in this instance. However, if you have an earlier version of the workflow that is validated and you want to continue using it, we will maintain all versions of this workflow on our GitHub. The next step is to choose the root entity. Here, that's ONT specimen. That is the name of the Terra data table from which we are drawing data to perform this analysis. So the next step would be to select the actual samples that we would like to run. Here we can filter these samples by run ID. So if we just want to select some of the samples, we can do so by using these run IDs over here and using the search function at the top. And that'll allow us to just pick the samples in that run. However, in this instance, we're going to be looking at all the samples, so we can use this checkbox up here or the dropdown and select all. So once we've done that, we click OK, and we have to define our inputs. So the demultiplexed reads, this input is going to be the column in your Terra metadata table that has the reads files. And the column header for that column was reads. And we define this using the this dot notation. So this dot refers to the root entity or the Terra data table. And then we indicate the column that we want to draw this information from. The next input is a workspace element. So workspace elements are accessible from any workflows within your workspace. So we like to make our bed files workspace elements because they are used by multiple different workflows. In this case, we're using the Arctic v3 primers. So we will indicate that with the workspace dot notation. And then this is the name of our workspace element. If you do not have a bed file loaded as a workspace element to use with your workflow, please see our video on uploading a workspace element. Finally, we have to identify the sample name, and that is going to be done using the this dot notation with your root entity. So once you've input all of your inputs, you go ahead and click on the Outputs tab, select Use Defaults, and you may need to save this page if you have not already done this. Here we can go ahead and change our bed file. Let's say we want to use the midnight primers this time around, and we'll click Save. So we click Save, and we can go ahead at this point and run our analysis. Go ahead and say midnight, and we can click Launch. So here we can see the status of each of our samples is queued. This status will proceed from queued to submitted to running to completed. Granted, we did everything correctly. And if you have any questions or you would like to take a deeper look into monitoring the progress of your run or monitoring the status of your run in Terra.bio, please see our video on monitoring the status of a run. Otherwise, if you have any questions, please reach out to support@terrapublichealth.zendesk.com. And thank you so much for joining us with this Terra training module. We hope to see you again soon. Thanks.